Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. In this video we are going to be going over the entire Pathways event and seeing how much is doable via free to play if you can grind out the main reward, which would be Piper, and which other rewards are achievable. Now at first glance this event can seem a bit overwhelming just based on the amount of roadmaps that have popped up, the amount of missions, but it's quite simple. There are 7 roadmaps that have popped up and they are in 3 separate batches. There's Bloody Bandages, which are in association with Governor's Path. There are Broken Lucille's, which are in association with Savior's Path. And there are Broken Masks, which are in association with Whisperer's Path. Now the 3 roadmaps at the top, Bloody Bandages, Broken Lucille's and Broken Masks, will reset every single day. And they give out 2 of each on the first 2 stages. As you can see, 1 and 2, and it costs 20 energy just to get 2 Bloody Bandages, just to get 2 Broken Lucille's, just to get 2 Broken Masks. You should do this every day, and over the course of the entire event you should have 56 of each of these collectibles to go towards mission goals. Those different collectibles are used as energy for the other roadmaps, but once you've collected them they still always count towards your mission total. So once you spend them on other roadmaps, for instance on the Governor roadmap, if you spend 10 Bloody Bandages to complete a stage, it doesn't remove it from your mission total. So once you get 10 you can spend 10 straight away to do the first stage if you so wish and get through it all. It costs 100 Bloody Bandages to complete all of the Governor roadmap, and you receive obviously Governor as a 5-star ascendable. Quite an old character, not great for veterans but pretty useful for newer players, and not actually a bad character once upon a time. But you more importantly get one of these Crossbones. Every single roadmap that you complete, the Savior's Path is exactly the same. You get a character. This character wasn't as good when he was released. He's okay, I guess, if you need a leader. Again, costs 100 Broken Lucille's, and again you get a Crossbone collectible. And lastly, there's the Whisperer roadmap in exactly the same situation, but these get harder as you go on. The easiest one is Governor, then it gets to Negan, which is a bit more difficult, and then it gets to Whisperer's Path for Alpha, and it's the most difficult. It goes up to S10, but the rewards do sort of scale. You get a GPS and a canteen from the last 2 stages, but more importantly, like I said before, you get those Crossbones. Now there is a second Whisperer's Path down here, and to unlock this you actually need 3 Crossbones already. Just like the other collectibles, once you collect a Crossbone, it counts towards your mission totals, so don't worry too much about if you want to spend them. But we'll get to this particular roadmap later on in terms of what else you can spend your collectibles on. So you get 56 of the 3 collectible types, which are used as energy, which are Bloody Bandages, Broken Lucille's, and the Broken Masks. Now if you go to the Pathways mission on the event tab and you click view, this is where you can collect more of the same collectibles. As you can see, there's different things you can do to collect different ones. Obviously for this one you have to do survival road stages and obviously war battles as a faction, which is good. There are faction elements to each one of these, so make sure you're in an active faction and you should be fine to be able to collect most of these. Level up mods, probably one of the easiest. You can upgrade bronze mods to level 10. You don't have to do that too much. You can get those masks pretty quickly, and they're the same for the Broken Lucille's, but obviously 3 stars don't take that much to level up these days. In terms of 1 stars and 2 stars that you can get from the roadmap, you can just put into 3 stars. You can do them during level up events. You should be okay with that. 16,500 territory attacks as a faction could be pretty difficult. The Walker Horde's attacks is maybe going to be difficult. It really depends on how many Walker Horde events they do, and I know some people don't like Walker Hordes, but this is something you're going to have to do because the calculations for this, it works out perfectly in how much you get, in that you get 230 Bloody Bandages from these missions, 250 Broken Lucille's, and 250 Broken Whisperer Masks. If you do all of the missions and all of the roadmaps, it brings your total up to 286 Bloody Bandages, 306 Broken Lucille's, and 306 Broken Whisperer Masks. If you go back to the event tab and go to the Pathways premium missions, where this is where you can get your hands on Piper, obviously there was an issue. Some of you may have realized that you could get the 3 Crossbone reward very quickly without doing anything. I'm not really sure what the issue was there. It's as if it counted all of the collectibles, not just Crossbones. It's good that it didn't do it for the 8-1 as well, because if I'm honest, as much as I want to get Piper, I do want something to do as well, because we haven't had much to do in the game, so I was kind of happy that that didn't bug out as well. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom of this is where you can get some Crossbones. If you collect 200 bloody bandages, which you can do, you can get over 200 pretty easily. 286 is the maximum you can get from the missions and the roadmaps. You get 1 Crossbone here. If you get over 300 of broken Lucille's, which you can do, you can get 306 from the missions and the roadmap. You get 2 Crossbones here, and then if you collect 300 broken masks here, you get again 2 Crossbones here. So that's a grand total of 5 from the missions of Crossbones. If you complete, like I showed before, each of the individual maps of Governor, Negan, and Alpha, in terms of the Governor's path, Savior's path, and Whisperer's path, you get 1 Crossbone for each of those as well. If we scroll straight back up to the top, you can see that that gives us a grand total of 8 Crossbones, which is enough to complete the second part of the mission to claim 6-star Piper. So she does come straight out as a 6-star as well, so we don't have to ascend her, which is pretty interesting, because if we look at the main screen, it says possible rewards and it's 5-star Harper, but then within the event itself, it's 6-star Harper. That's interesting. And so that's fine, you get straight up as a 6-star, and that's how you can do it. You 100% can achieve this as free to play. You've just got to make sure you do every single one of the daily roadmaps, especially for broken Lucille's and especially for broken Whisperer masks. The bandages you can be a little bit lax on, but there's no point basically, because every single bit of extra energy you can spend elsewhere. So as mentioned, once you've collected all of the energy and you've completed the Governor's path, which only uses 100 of the bandages which you collect, and you get 286, you can start spending that energy elsewhere. There are other parts of roadmaps that you can spend it on, like this roadmap if you want to get these, or you can do the second half and go straight into here, and you can, I think, do this once or maybe twice, and you get some pretty big bags that have a lot of trainers in, lots of these as well, minimum of 10 2-star trainers, so that's a minimum of 100 2-star trainers if you get that bag. And then there's the stage 4 reward, which requires the Crossbones. And like I said, once you've collected those and you've collected the character, which is Piper, you can spend them afterwards. It doesn't consume the Crossbones, you just need to collect them. So if you complete this, you get 10 of these crates, which is insane. That's a minimum of 150 Benedicts, potentially 250 gold mods, and potentially 200,000 coins. Now, the odds are not shown unfortunately, but you can get a lot of coins out of this, and I would say this event is looking really good, if I'm honest, on face value. If you, obviously it's going to take a lot of grinding, people who put in a lot of time and effort. If you get everything, you're going to get a lot of rewards. If you don't get everything, you've still got the potential of getting some of these crates. You may not get Piper, but you've definitely got the potential to get some of these crates. If you don't want Piper, I don't think you need to do Governor's Path, Savior's Path, or Whisperer's Path. If you don't want those characters as well, you could purely spend your resources on the second part of these, and you can maybe do 1 or 2 more than most people, because you're not going to be spending 100 broken Lucille's, for instance, trying to get Negan. But I would say these things are very worth going for. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys get something nice from these bags and crates whenever you get them. I'll save all of my bags and crates up for one big pull near the end of the event, especially this crate, just to see what we can get from there, which will be insane. The roster space might get a bit jam-packed with all those bennies, but still, I'm liking the look of this event. I want to get Piper. I'm going to work hard for it. So I hope this video has been useful for you guys. This is just to show that if you do grind and put in the time and you're in with an active faction, you can get Piper from free to play. You have to hit everything though, absolutely everything. Nothing can be left behind, and you'll be able to get your hands on Piper, 3 ascendable characters as well. You should get a lot of bags and potentially a lot of rewards. Do tell me what you're aiming for in this tournament. Are you going to go all out to try and get Piper? Personally, I am. I just generally would anyway, just for, that's what I like to do. I try and hit the top thing that I can in an event. I want to just get it. It's something to aim for. It's something to play for. And I think Piper is okay. She can be used in pretty decent teams. I've got Michelle, obviously, so she can be used behind Michelle. I don't think she's amazing, but I don't think she's terrible by any stretch, and I think she has got a place within, in terms of the amount of damage she could potentially do is quite high based on that specialist skill in the right circumstances. But that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.